In the next 10 minutes, we are going to delve in. The chilling darkness descends upon the shadows of H. Holmes's macabre world, where the whispers of his deeds echo through time, a ticking clock to the horrors he concealed, where fear coils like a serpent in the heart. Prepare to confront the horrors of H. Holmes, for his story begins now.
I bet you didn't know about the most sinister building in Chicago's history. The year was 1893. The place, Chicago, a city pulsing with the energy of progress and opportunity. But beneath the veneer of progress lurked a sinister secret. A three-story building stood tall, casting a long shadow over the bustling streets. Locals knew it as the Murder Castle, and the name sent shivers down their spines. This was no ordinary dwelling. It was a meticulously crafted death trap, designed by a cunning mind with an insatiable thirst for blood. This was the lair of H. Holmes, America's first serial killer, a man whose name would become synonymous with evil. The Murder Castle was his playground, a macabre testament to his twisted psyche. It was a place where unsuspecting victims would meet their gruesome end, their screams forever silenced within its walls. The horrors that unfolded within those walls were the stuff of nightmares. Secret passages, hidden rooms, and soundproof chambers painted a gruesome picture of Holmes's evil intentions. Gas jets, strategically placed throughout the building, could extinguish life with the turn of a knob. A custom-built surgical table stood ready for his twisted experiments. The Murder Castle was a macabre masterpiece, designed to fulfill the darkest desires of a man consumed by evil. If you found this story intriguing, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow and share on Facebook to keep up with more chilling tales. Herman Webster Mudgett, the man who would become infamous as H. Holmes, was born into a seemingly ordinary family in New Hampshire in 1861. However, even as a child, there were glimpses of a dark and troubled mind. He displayed a morbid fascination with death, often torturing animals and engaging in risky and reckless behavior. Holmes's path took a sinister turn when he began medical school. It was here that his fascination with anatomy and dissection morphed into something far more sinister. He developed a chilling obsession with death and the human body, seeing it as a tool for his twisted experiments. After graduating, Holmes embarked on a life of crime, using his charm and intelligence to deceive and manipulate those around him. He drifted from town to town, leaving a trail of deceit, fraud, and mysterious disappearances in his wake. In 1886, Holmes arrived in Chicago, lured by the city's booming population and the anonymity it offered. He assumed the name H. Holmes and wasted no time in putting his dark plan into action. He set his sights on a vacant lot in the Englewood neighborhood, where he would construct the building that would become his grim masterpiece, the Murder Castle. The Murder Castle was an architectural nightmare, a maze of hidden rooms, secret passages, and deadly traps. Holmes designed the building himself, ensuring that it would be the perfect hunting ground for his sinister desires. He hired and fired various construction crews, ensuring that no one fully understood the building's layout. Victims were lured into the Murder Castle under various pretenses. Some were guests at his hotel, others were employees who disappeared without a trace. Once inside, they were at Holmes's mercy. He would trap them in soundproof rooms, releasing poisonous gas through vents to suffocate them. Bodies were then transported to the basement through hidden chutes, where Holmes would dispose of them in a variety of gruesome ways. The basement of the Murder Castle was a scene straight out of a horror novel. It housed a dissecting table, surgical instruments, and vats of acid, all the tools Holmes needed to dispose of his victims and erase any trace of their existence. The walls were thick, the air heavy with the stench of decay, a chilling reminder of the horrors inflicted within those walls. Section 4, lured into a trap. Holmes was a master manipulator, a charming and charismatic individual who could disarm even the most suspicious individuals. He used this charm to lure his victims into a false sense of security, making them believe he was someone they could trust. Many of his victims were young women, often new to the city and seeking employment. Holmes would offer them jobs at his hotel, promising them good pay and a safe place to stay. Others were seduced by his charm and charisma, believing him to be a successful businessman with a bright future ahead of him. They were drawn to his confidence and air of mystery, unaware of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. Holmes preyed on the vulnerable, exploiting their hopes, dreams and desperation. He was a master of deception, using a variety of aliases and constantly changing his appearance to avoid detection. He would often start relationships with his female victims, even going so far as to marry some of them, only to later kill them and collect on their life insurance policies. Section 5. The body count. The exact number of victims claimed by H. Holmes remains a mystery to this day. During his trial, Holmes confessed to killing 27 people, but many believe the true number to be far higher. Some estimates suggest that Holmes may have murdered over 200 people, but with so many bodies disposed of in his macabre basement laboratory, the true extent of his crimes may never be known. The majority of Holmes's victims were believed to have been killed during the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago. The city was flooded with visitors from all over the world, providing Holmes with an ample supply of unsuspecting prey. The fair's grandeur and excitement served as a convenient smokescreen for his heinous acts, allowing him to operate with relative impunity. The disappearances of so many people during the fair did not go unnoticed, but Holmes was a master manipulator, always one step ahead of the authorities. He would often move his victims' bodies before they could be discovered, further complicating efforts to track his movements and identify his victims. Section 6. Unanswered Questions. Despite his capture and execution in 1896, H. Holmes' reign of terror continues to fascinate and horrify people to this day. The murder castle itself was demolished in 1895, but the legend of the building and the evil it housed lives on. There are many unanswered questions surrounding Holmes's crimes, questions that continue to intrigue and baffle historians and true crime enthusiasts alike. One enduring mystery is the true extent of Holmes's crimes. While he confessed to 27 murders, many believe the actual number to be far higher. The chaotic nature of his killing spree, combined with his meticulous efforts to dispose of the bodies, makes it nearly impossible to determine an accurate victim count. Another mystery surrounds Holmes's motives. Was he driven by profit, seeking to collect on life insurance policies, or was there something more sinister at play? Some believe Holmes derived pleasure from the act of killing itself, that he was a true psychopath who reveled in the suffering of others. Section 7. A Legacy of Terror. H. Holmes and his murder castle have left an indelible mark on American history and the annals of true crime. The story of the charming doctor who lured unsuspecting victims to their deaths in his custom-built House of Horrors continues to send chills down our spines over a century later. Perhaps it is the sheer scale and depravity of his crimes that continue to captivate our imaginations. Or maybe it is the chilling realization that beneath a veneer of normalcy can lurk a mind capable of unimaginable evil. Whatever the reason, H. Holmes remains a figure of enduring fascination, a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the human heart. The murder castle may be gone, But its legacy lives on in the countless books, documentaries and fictional accounts that have been inspired by Holmes's crimes. The building may have been reduced to rubble, but the legend of H.H. Holmes, the Devil in the White City, continues to haunt our collective imagination.